Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode with me, Shashank Udupa, and this is Frank with Shank episode 3. And today I'm going to talk about why I don't have any loan at this point in my life, or no loans, no EMIs, nothing at this point in my life. This is not a video about whether loan is good or loan is bad. This is just a video about my reasoning of how I look at loan and how I don't want to take a loan at this point in my life, which is very early on in my life. I'd rather take it much later, right? So let me tell you in this video very quickly why I don't have a loan yet and what are the different reasons for me not having this. Now, first thing you need to understand when you take a loan, that loan is not free, it is actually paid. And I'm not talking about the EMI that you're paying. EMI that you're paying वैसे भी anyway, right? I'm talking about the other things like the processing fees, the hidden charges. Now every time you go to no cost EMI and you try to buy a no cost EMI, you might think there's nothing there, but there is definitely something there which is called processing fee. There are hidden charges, there is conversion fee. So there's also conversion fee from normal amount to a loan amount, so they take a fee on that. So a lot of hidden problems that are there. So if you want to understand more clearly on what these problems or what these hidden processing fees are, then you should actually go to your particular bank account or click on your credit card and try to find out what is the processing fee that is there. In fact, if you go to Amazon and you find any merchant that is selling with no cost EMI, they'll actually tell you the processing fee on the top right? They'll actually tell you the processing fee. It'll be written in very fine text and you won't even realize it very easily, but it is there. So debt is definitely not free, it is paid, right? So it is over and above your EMI interest loans. So I would not take that, number one. That's why I don't take a lot of debt. Now, the second thing is it changes my mindset. And I did this mistake, right? That's why I'm telling you, because very early on in my life when I was an investment banker and I was making good amount of money, at that point I had a credit card and it actually changed my mindset, which was not very good. Thoda zyada weird ho gaya, because I was like, this credit card mein there's a different power, you can go swipe it, you can take unnecessary expense that that next month I will pay it off, right? Now understand this, debt when you take it, right, it's basically you taking some kind of money from your future money, right? Because you don't have it today, you're using this credit card or you're using a debt instrument or you're using a low cost EMI, which is basically you saying, whenever I get money in the future, I will pay this back to you. So debt is actually that kind of an instrument that takes away from your future revenue, right? So I would not suggest that. It also changes your mindset because you might think that everything is okay and I'm just going to take a loan and everything's going to be fine. What if you borrow at a slightly higher rate and you borrow for say 10, 15, 20 years? Imagine you take a house at a very young age for the next 15 years and in 3 years you lose your job. How do you know what's going to happen, right? And this is assuming you've not even built your emergency fund. That's even worse. So ideally you should first build your emergency fund, fix all of that, put a down payment for the house, but only takes maybe 20 to 30% loan instead of the opposite where people take 80% loan amount for that, right? So understand this, that when you're trying to borrow income, if you want to borrow income, there's a solution to this. If you want to borrow income, do not over borrow, right? Don't leverage yourself too much. I would say put as much cash component as possible, and with the remaining amount for the 20-30% extra that you need, you can take a debt for that, because that is something you can clear quickly. I've seen a lot of people where they put 20% down payment for a house and take 80% of loan amount, and if you take that for 20 years, it's almost equal to paying your same amount of loan. I want my money to double for me rather than me working hard and doubling money for someone else, which is a bank, right? So I would not I don't like that, and I believe I should work for myself harder. So I don't have a loan for that reason, right? And I'm not even taking a house only because of this reason. Now, debt works in a very weird way. Debt works in a reverse SIP way, right? So every month when you invest in something, or every month when you put SIP into some fund, it starts making some kind of return for you, whether it's 10%, 11%, 12%. Any asset class that you invest makes money for you. But debt basically works in reverse. In debt, you are the asset that is working very hard for a bank. So bank's SIP is you for a debt, right? So whenever there's a new person who's coming and taking debt, bank is like, aa gaya mera naya SIP investment. Now I'm going to give him this money, which is going to compound at 11%, 12% for me and pay me back interest. See that, right? That is how I think, right? Because when I'm investing in something, I want that instrument to make money for me, but I don't want to become an instrument for somebody else who's taking a lot of interest from me. Now, if I really need the money and I don't have the money and I have to leverage myself, there is no option. Do it, but take a very small amount. That is what I would say, right? Don't over leverage yourself, because there's other problems that come. And I'll tell you what the other problem is as well, right? The other problem here is mental health. I have seen, and you might have heard these stories, that whenever someone takes a massive loan, right, they go into stress. And this is very 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 common, because whatever happens in your life, whether upar ja raha hai, niche ja raha hai, aage ja raha hai, piche ja raha hai, nobody cares, because you have to pay your EMI on time, right? And you have to pay EMI every month. And in fact, you can go to the bank and be like, ye mahina thoda kharab tha, can I pay you next month? And the bank will be like, no bro, I don't care, you have to pay me right now, because I have invested in you and you are my asset, so please go work harder so you can pay this money back to me. Now that is the problem, because if you don't pay your money back to me, then your credit score gets spoiled. And if your credit score gets spoiled, next time when you go to any other bank in my entire department, we will not give you at 12%, we will give you at 15%, because you missed this 1 month. So it's like a very weird cycle, right? So I know that mental health goes for a toss, and I've seen a lot of people losing their nights and sleeps over this, because they have to pay their loan back on time. And what happens, I'll tell you what, when you're in that zone, right, where you have to pay loan, and also things are not going really well in life, and don't assume that every year my thing will go happy and nice, right? Things will go bad, you will have ups and downs, right? What happens is, when your mental health is bad and you're also have to pay a lot of loan, it starts affecting the near and dear ones around you. And when it starts affecting the near and dear ones around you, that starts compounding to become more worse and worse, right? So in the end, you'll pay off that loan, but at what cost is the real value, right? So what I would say, the solution for this, if you already have a loan and you'll be like, Shashank, you're too late, man, you should have done this video a little earlier. Chill out. If you already have a loan, my suggestion is clear it like this ASAP, right? As soon as possible, clear it. Remove yourself from this mental burden, because the faster you clear that loan, the faster you are not an SIP instrument for a bank, the faster you can start doing SIP instruments in other people and then make money out of it, right? So you start investing in stocks or mutual funds or gold or bonds or whatever different asset classes, and start making money from them. That is why banks want you to deposit in them, so that they can give you that 4 5% 6% savings rate, so that they can start investing in other people at 18% 15%, right? So understand that very clearly. So clear debt as fast as you want. Interest needs to compound for you. You should not sit and work for compounding interest, right? That is the complete opposite approach. So if you do take a loan, clear it off ASAP. And if you are going through mental health issues, I would say, boss, loan repayment is also there. Fast you can repay the loan repayment. And by the way, there's another problem here. If you repay the loan, right, just assume that, Shashank, you're like, okay, 3 years I have a particular loan, let me just finish it off tomorrow. I call my bank and I'm like, listen, मेरा 5 लाख का loan है, मैं कल clear करने वाला हूँ, which is like a 5 year time period, I'm finishing it off right now. The bank will be like, cool man, I mean, first of all, it's not cool that you're doing this, because you told me you're going to compound my interest for 5 years, but Shashank is calling and saying he'll pay all my money back. He'll be like, cool, you pay all my money back right now, pura interest ke saath, but I'm going to charge you penalty. So in fact, when you pay the loan amount back faster, the banking institutions actually charge you a penalty for paying this money back faster. Why? Because he's losing money, right, over a long period of time, because he knows how compounding interest works. And you, even though you know compounding interest works, you only look at the positive side, you don't look at how it can work against you. So there is a prepayment penalty also in banks when you prepay your loan. But I would say it doesn't compare to the amount of money you would actually have to pay with compounding interest. So if you have already taken the loan and you've made a big mistake, finish it off as soon as possible, repay it, pay your penalties. It's completely alright, because I save up on the compounding that will happen over a long period of time, right? Now, the final thing why I haven't taken a loan is because of credit score. Because, boss, I don't want my credit score to get spoiled right now, and I want it to be as good as possible. Anything above 750 should be considered good. Anything above that is considered great. So I'm trying to keep my credit score somewhere around 800 itself. So just to keep improving my credit score, what I do is I do take small loans, right? Like 10,000, 15,000. So I went to credit one day and just took that credit cash and then paid it back also immediately. I swipe my credit card but paid back on time. So I do these small things that keep increasing my credit score. So if they look at my history, they'll be like, Shashank, what a wonderful history. But I have only done small amounts. They don't see that, right? Over a long period of time, the small expenses also compounds and becomes a big expense. So every month, even if I do 10,000 and paid back on time, over a year, 1.2 lakhs I have done spending, and that is also paid back on time, and I'm not paying any interest because I'm paying back instantly. So all this comes into my benefit, and I keep a good credit score. Why do I keep a good credit score? Is because tomorrow, if I do want to go take leverage and I do want to go take a loan, then at least I'll get it at good rates, right? Or else if I keep screwing up that time, now then it'll become very worse for me. And now today, at this point, when you're young, you don't make a lot of money. You make a lot of money as you age, because your experience grows, your salary will grow. At that point, taking a loan is better than taking a loan right now and suffering. So that is why I suggest, if you do have some EMIs, I would say, boss, clear kar do ASAP, don't do anything, right? Now, here are a few understand this. There's one beautiful sentence that I keep saying: debt borrows from your future income. So please understand this, that whatever debt you take, you're just borrowing from the future income that you would have made. I would rather make that future income, invest it so more future income can be made. So I'm in a point where I don't have to take a debt. Let compounding work for you. You don't become an asset and work for the compound, right? Or you'll become a liability for yourself but an asset for the bank. Now, some tips for people who have already taken a loan, just summarizing: if you can, see if you can clear it out ASAP, because a lot of people have education loan, a lot of people have home loan, a lot of people have credit card. By the way, if you have taken a home loan, or if you have taken a education loan on your children, or if you have taken an education loan, you get some tax benefits on it, so you should definitely go check that out. On home loan, I think you can get up to 2 lakhs of tax benefit a year on the interest payments. Even on education loan, there is something if you're paying it back on time, so look at that itself. Let interest work for you, you don't work for interest. Second is, I would say, leverage less, right? Keep 20% as your EMI amount. I would not say keep more. Either which, you should not be doing that. But if you really want this phone and you have no other option and you want the liquidity right now, then a 10 to 20% should be your loan amount, not more than that, or EMI amount as well. And also try to pay it as fast as possible, right? Third thing, to be safe from all of this, I would suggest create a healthy bank balance, which is also your emergency fund and your normal bank balance, so that tomorrow if you do have to take a loan, you will not over leverage yourself, because everything is about leverage, right? Or else you'll go bankrupt and you'll not even realize how you went bankrupt. And fourth and most important thing, I would say, whenever you're taking anything, by the way, as I said in the first, right, debt is not free. Please understand this. Even if it's no cost EMI, there is a cost to the EMI, right? So whenever someone says it is free, buy now, pay later, sorry boss, you are a victim of something, right? If you say no cost EMI, Shashank, I'm not paying any money, sorry, you're paying processing fees, you're paying some hidden fees that you don't even know about, right? So I'm talking about all of these fees. So understand this: people are not stupid, banks are not stupid, they're not here to lend you money for free and make no money out of it. It is a business, they will make money out of you. If you are smart enough to realize where the cost is, do a risk analysis on the cost benefit analysis of me paying money up front versus me taking a risk, and then make a wise decision. Okay, so I hope you guys like this episode. This was a quick episode on why I don't have a loan yet, and if you do have it, please take the necessary steps to actually clear it as soon as possible. Again, this is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. I hope you guys like this video, and if you did like this video, click on the like button below and click on the subscribe button as well. Until next time, I'm going to see you soon. I'll be coming up with more episodes like this, which will help you get a better understanding of finance other than the stock market. Okay, this is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you. Bye.